All right, so let's look at maintaining and developing. And so the first part of this is that when we're maintaining people is we're going to talk about compensation. And so the amount we pay someone in return for their labor. And there's different ways that we can go about doing that. Our general policy on how we pay people is called our compensation system. And so there's a couple different things in there. There's what's called a wage level. So we're going to determine how much a particular job is worth, okay, and how much we're going to pay that job. The structure is going to be, that's the wage structure. The level is whether we can either pay at, below, or above what the market pays. So there's what are called market. You do market research and you compare to your competitors and the industry as a whole, and you determine whether it's called a wage survey, and you're going to determine whether you're going to pay more than everyone else pays that particular job. If you do that, the idea is generally that you're doing that because you want first pick, because people are going to go where they get paid the most. Or you can pay at, or you can pay below. So in Bryan College Station, you might pay below for certain jobs because there's a plethora of college students who will fill that job. So you don't worry about paying more because you don't need to pay more. And so that's the wage level. The wage structure is determined by evaluating the job and its worth compared to other jobs in your firm. So obviously we're going to pay the janitor less than we pay the CEO, and so you have some sort of wage structure, and it determines. And then an individual wage then falls based on, okay, what's this person's experience and what job are they in, and are we paying above or below for that job, okay? And so that's how individual wage is determined. All right, comparable worth would say that we're going to pay people who have the same kind of qualifications the same amount, all right? So essentially here at Blinn College, that's what happens is if you're a business instructor or you're a science instructor, you get paid the same amount. And so we have the same level of education. As long as anyone who has a master's degree teaching gets paid one level. If you have a PhD, you get paid a little bit more for that education. And that's kind of the concept between comparable worth. So these are different types of compensation. So we have hourly wage, which is what you guys are most familiar with right now, because that's probably what you all get paid. So each hour you work, you get paid a certain amount of money. Salary is a little bit different. You get paid a set amount for the calendar period, regardless of the actual number of hours worked. And the idea is that you're being paid salary, so you just, as long as you get the job done, you get the job done, and you get paid, whether that takes you 30 hours or 50 hours. Okay. Commission is a percentage of sales revenue, so you get maybe 5% commission. Well, if you sell 500,000, then you get 5% of the 500,000. All right. Incentive payment is some sort of maybe I'd say that's more like a bonus. Okay, so we give you some payment maybe because we did well or we liked how hard you worked this year or whatever. So it's something on top of your wages or salary. Lump sum salary increase just says that you can take the entire pay raise in one. Let's say at the end of the year you get a $1,000 pay raise. Well, or we'll say $1,200 pay raise. You can either take $1,200 in January, or you can take $100 a month over the course of the year. Okay, that's the lump sum salary increase. And then profit sharing is if we make a certain amount of profit, I'll give you. My wife used to have this at the dental office she worked at. if they did over $100,000 in profit, that then every dollar over, they would share half of the profit with them. And it was just a way to incentivize them to work a little harder to close sales and get people to pay, so that they could keep the business afloat and keep bringing in profit. All right. Benefits are indirect rewards that people receive, not given while they have a financial amount attached to them. They're not given in the form of money. Okay, so paid for time not worked. I still get my paycheck, but the benefit is that I don't have to come in for one day. Insurance, I don't actually get the money for the insurance, but they pay for the insurance on my behalf. So there is the monetary value attached to it, but it's something that's non-monetary itself. Okay, retirement is another example. Social Security and unemployment insurance, those are really things that businesses have to pay anyway. If your business chooses to pay your portion of Social Security, that would definitely be a benefit, but they're having to pay that anyway. Workers' compensation is the same way. Some companies have other things like tuition reimbursement. They might have child care services. Google has a cafeteria that you can go to, exercise room, etc. Flexible benefit plan is kind of a newer thing where they're giving you the option. They tell you have a predetermined amount of money to spend on benefits, and then they basically give you a menu, and they say, all right, here's health insurance and how much it costs, and dental and retirement and the gym membership and all these things, and they say, all right, if you want to, you have $1,000, spend it however you want. Okay, so instead of providing everything to everyone, they're able to have a few more options and let people customize their benefit plans to what fits them. All right, so then training and development, it breaks up kind of in two different categories. Employee training, so more of the blue collar, and management development, more of the white collar. Okay, so employee training tends to be more of hands-on, operational, like actually how do we maybe we got a new machine, how do we work that machine? Okay, and so it's designed more on how to do our job more effectively and efficiently, whereas management development is more theoretical type stuff. It might be how to better motivate your employees, and so we talk about motivation and motivation theories and how we would implement those theories, but it's not hands-on. Okay, so it kind of breaks down in those two categories, training and development. And so there's different ways that we do that on the job. Just that's what you've probably been exposed to at this point. You started if you start at HEB, for example, and you're going to work a register, they put you with someone who already knows how to do it, and they say, all right, watch her and she'll teach you how, and that's on the job. Simulation, so we're gonna go to the moon. Well, we're gonna simulate how to land on the moon before we even get in the rocket to do it. All right, so that's simulation. Classroom teaching and lecture, large groups who need the same exact information would do classroom teaching and lecture. Conference and seminar is for us to go and learn from other professionals, generally professionals that might have more experience or have learned a specific skill that they want to share. We could do role playing, and then e-learning is an option these days as well. And so that's kind of how what we're going to talk about in terms of training and development.